Worship and adore him, all will bow before him. God himself will crown him King, the King. Worship and adore him, all will bow before him. God himself will crown him King, King of Kings.
Mr. and Mrs. Business Owners, get your better return from your marketing dollars with the Sales and Advertising Department at WCAB. Get triple coverage from AM 590, Northland Cable Channel 5, and the World Wide Web. It works. Call Tracy or Jim. 287-3356.
Stand by now. We have all the latest news coming up. We'll get you informed what's been happening around the block, around the state, around the nation, and around the world on the most comprehensive news coverage you could ever ask for.
MCN News. I'm Mike Riley. The death toll from Hurricane Irma is up to at least 10. Officials say one person died on the Caribbean island of Anguilla. On the island of Barbados, also, there was one, and 8 on the island of St. Martin. The Category 4 storm also cut the power to nearly 1 million people on the island of Puerto Rico. Carmen Yulin Cruz is the mayor of San Juan.
A lot of the people, the roofs would have come off from their homes, so they'll virtually have nothing left. Personal items, photographs, mementos.
The potential threat of Hurricane Irma impacting the southeast U.S. is creating a run on essentials like water, ice, and gasoline.
Tens of millions from Florida to North Carolina are stocking up ahead of menacing Hurricane Irma.
I thought I'd beat the masses out here to get some water and dog food and just prepare.
Batteries and stuff, water, food, simple things like that.
There's been a run on gasoline with long lines and empty pumps at many stations in Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
And in Raleigh on Wednesday afternoon, Governor Roy Cooper urged residents in all parts of the state to be prepared for the hurricane.
And wherever you live in North Carolina, whether it's the mountains, the Piedmont, or the coast, you need to take this storm seriously. And you need to start preparing for some type of impact.
Some folks in North Carolina are still trying to get over Hurricane Matthew's effects. Joanne Quick says her mother's home has sat empty since Matthew last year. She tells CBS North Carolina it's been a difficult experience.
It's so much better than it was because originally we had to tear everything out, tear out the floors, tear out the wall 4 feet.
The North Carolina Highway Patrol is investigating after 2 students were killed near Campbell University, south of Raleigh, in what may have been a weather-related crash. The students have not been identified. You're listening to NCN News.
This is Brian Geisinger from the ACC Sports Journal. Here's a look what we have at ACCSports.com today. We take a look at how NC State and UNC will try to rebound from Week 1 losses in the college football season and survey the league's key talking points heading into Week 2. Over at Duke, the Blue Devils land 5-star forward Cameron Reddish in the 2018 class. Our Duke insider has the scoop and how this helps the Blue Devils be set up beyond 2018. After 16 years in Charlottesville, Virginia athletic director Craig Littlepage will retire. We take a look at 6 names that Cavalier fans should keep in mind. And over the ACC Analytics tab, we take a look behind the numbers from Georgia Tech quarterback Taquan Marshall in his record-setting performance against Tennessee. For the latest news on the Wolfpack, Tar Heels, Deacons, Blue Devils, and the rest of the ACC, make sure to check out ACCSports.com.
Can cold medicine lead to murder? That's the question many are asking after a Raleigh man told a 911 dispatcher he thinks he stabbed his wife to death after taking cold medicine to help him sleep. Matthew Phelps says he awoke in his North Raleigh townhome to find his wife dead and a bloody knife on the floor. UNC pharmacy professor Stephanie Ferrari tells ABC 11 Phelps said the medication he took was quercetin cough and cold. She says one of its active ingredients can cause agitation.
We need a little bit more information of how much was taken. We also need a little more information regarding, are there any other medications that could have been interacting with? Was there alcohol involved?
You know, the ads on Facebook, hundreds of them during the election year were fake, aimed at influencing the election.
Facebook says during the election campaign there were hundreds of fake accounts that bought ads aimed at stirring up rancor in America over issues like race relations and gun control. Facebook says the ads in question probably came from accounts run from Russia, a notorious so-called troll farm based in St. Petersburg, known for promoting pro-Russian government positions by way of fake accounts.
That's Jim Taylor. Authorities in Rocky Mount are investigating after a man was found dead in the middle of the street. The man was identified as 65-year-old James Earl Harper. Around the world, many schools start this week, and when it's your first day, you can be a bit apprehensive no matter how born you are.
4-year-old Prince George has embarked on the first day of his academic career. Hand in hand, Prince William walked his pensive-looking son through the gates of the $23,000 a year Thomas's School in South London. Along with his commoner classmates, George was dressed in a new uniform, a navy sweater, matching Bermuda shorts, and black shoes. His royal mom, the Duchess of Cambridge, stayed home with morning sickness.
24 hours, 7 days a week, you can pick up your favorite programs on AM 59 and on Northland Cable Channel 5.
From ABC News, I'm Jim Ryan in Miami, a city in the crosshairs of a monster. The roar of Hurricane Irma as it makes its way towards South Florida. The Category 5 hurricane has claimed at least 10 lives and destroyed whole communities in the Caribbean. ABC's Lindsay Janis is in Puerto Rico.
We have been experiencing sustained winds of 55 miles per hour with gusts of 70 miles per hour. There has been a lot of rain. Some areas predicted to get up to 20 inches. There's a lot of concern about flash flooding and storm surge.
Preparations here in South Florida have included evacuations in the Keys and now in low-lying portions of Broward County, where Mayor Barbara Sharif says she's concerned for the safety of people in low-lying areas.
We just don't want them to be caught in a place where they're calling 911 and we can't get out to get to them.
Irma is expected to strike South Florida sometime over the weekend. And while the potential damage is extreme, Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel says,
"We got this."
Irma's effects are being felt well beyond South Florida. Here's ABC's Alex Stone.
Jim, at grocery stores here in Central Florida, a 4-hour drive from where you are in Miami, people are getting ready as well. Store shelves are bare of bottled water and bread. Gas stations have run dry. This woman found a station with gas.
I think it's definitely getting a little rougher and tougher to find gas.
The impact on this area could be severe or very little, depending on what track Hurricane Irma takes as it heads north. I'm Alex Stone in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Now with more news, here's Sherry Preston.
Donald Trump Jr. will speak behind closed doors with Senate investigators today about last year's meeting with that Russian lawyer in Trump Tower. A mutual friend sent the president's oldest son an email promising information from people connected to the Russian government that could help his father's presidential campaign. Top Democrats want more answers from Facebook after the social media giant said it counted hundreds of accounts tied to Russia that spread information during the presidential campaign. You're listening to ABC News.
Over 70 million Americans have unhealthy blood pressure levels. Are you one of them? Introducing Berkeley Life, a 100% drug-free supplement to help maintain normal, healthy blood pressure while supporting energy and vitality. Now, for a limited time, try Berkeley Life free. Call 800-708-7115. A key to maintaining healthy blood pressure is your body's nitric oxide levels. Berkeley Life helps to boost nitric oxide levels naturally. The breakthrough is from a discovery which won a Nobel Prize in medicine on nitric oxide levels in the bloodstream. Berkeley Life includes free saliva test strips to see your levels instantly. Now there is a supplement you test yourself and can see it's working. In a consumer study, 91% felt healthier after taking Berkeley Life for just 3 weeks. Here's Dan, an actual Berkeley Life user.
There were positive effects, more energy, more clarity. Another great thing is I don't have to worry about my blood pressure levels anymore.
Get your free 30-day supply. Call 800-708-7115. Just pay shipping and handling. 800-708-7115. 800-708-7115. Results may vary.
After 29 days in captivity, a Minnesota teenager is safe. Police say a man named Thomas Barker kidnapped a 15-year-old girl on August 8th and, along with 2 other men, held her against her will until now. Eventually, she was able to escape, says Alexandria, Minnesota Police Chief Richard Weifels.
They did keep her in a secure part of the house where she couldn't leave, in the back part of the house, oftentimes in a closet.
The girl had been left alone for the first time when she got free, swimming across a lake. She was eventually discovered running through a field, and she's now back with her family. Will she get out this time? Once again, California Parole Board has ruled that one-time Manson follower Leslie Van Houten should be released from prison.
Leslie Van Houten, the youngest member of the Charles Manson family, was recommended for parole Wednesday by a state panel which says she's radically changed her life during her 4-decade sentence. The soft-spoken Van Houten spent 2 hours before the panel answering questions. She was convicted in the 1969 killings of Leno LaBianca and his wife Rosemary. The panel's ruling must still be approved by the state parole board and Governor Jerry Brown. Governor Brown reversed another panel's ruling to parole Van Houten last year. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
Police in Atlanta are defending their decision this week to shoot and kill a tiger that escaped from its truck on the way from Florida to Tennessee. The tiger was named Susie. It got loose during a watering break and wandered down the interstate. Officers say Susie was chasing a dog, and that's why they had no choice, they say, but to shoot and kill her. This is ABC News.
Comfort is something we all want to feel. No one knows this better than Serta, America's #1 mattress manufacturer. This Labor Day, discover Serta's amazing mattress lineup. Experience our latest iComfort sleep system and get a free box spring. Or save up to $800 on an adjustable set. Or find the right perfect sleeper mattress from as low as $399 while supplies last. Offers good at participating retailers. Find a local retailer at sertaretailers.com.
You know, Oakland Feed and Seed, Oakland Road in Spindale, has been part of the family for years. Your granddad, your dad, and now this generation is depending on the great inventory, excellent service, and better pricing. Listen to some of these items we need probably right about now. 10-10-10 fertilizer, $9.50 a bag. Dog food, fire and ant killer in spray and granular. Flea and tick prevention. Carpenter bee traps, weed killer, and so much more. Go see Scott and his team today at 770 Oakland Road, Spindale, and keep the family tradition going. They have so much over there to offer you. We hope you'll go by and see them. Oakland Feed and Seed there on Oakland Road, right catty corner there from Adaville Baptist Church. It's 5 minutes after 7.
Beautiful weather expected for the next few days. An area of high pressure settles in behind a cold front that rolled through yesterday. We'll have mostly sunny skies today. High temperatures in the middle to upper 70s. The humidity will be very low today. Overnight tonight into Friday morning, clear skies and cooler with temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s. And then Friday's forecast sunshine with highs in the mid to upper 70s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
We're 51 degrees currently, and it is still some patchy fog out there, out and about this morning. You run out of it, you run into it, so please watch out for that as you're traveling today. Getting up to only 73, dropping back to 52, about where we are right now for the overnight. And the weekend, the entire weekend is going to be absolutely beautiful. You'd think fall of the year is almost here. And then the rain doesn't return to the forecast until about Monday. Any subsequent, mostly cloudy with scattered showers on Monday with a 40% chance of that. And then 70% on Monday night, 60% on Tuesday, and 50% Tuesday night. That may be the some of the effects of Irma out there. We'll see what happens with her, so be sure to stay tuned right here. But enjoy the weekend, embrace it as best you can, because it is going to be a Chamber of Commerce kind of weekend. 7 minutes after 7, we're being kind today to Todd and Melanie Blankenship. It's their 26th wedding anniversary. They live up in over in the Green Creek community. So thanks for tuning in on your anniversary today. We appreciate you being part of our audience. Now I have these death announcements. Minnie Mae Lee, age 60, of Forest City, passed away Sunday at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. The funeral service will be conducted at 2 o'clock today at the Spindale Fellowship Holiness Church with Reverend Leon Brown and Reverend Chad Sisk officiating. Burial will follow in the church cemetery. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the church. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangements for Minnie Mae Lee. Charles Wessels, age 56, of Rutherfordton, died Sunday at Rutherford Regional Medical Center. The funeral service will be at 1 o'clock Saturday at McMahon's Funeral Home Chapel. The family will receive friends from 11 until 1 Saturday, September the 9th, at McMahon's Funeral Home. And McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangements for Charles Wessels. Miss Elizabeth Ann Smith, 66, of Forest City, died Monday at Hospice House. The family is planning a celebration of life service for Friday, September 30th at the Christmas House in Inman, South Carolina. The time of the service will be announced later. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is in charge of the cremation arrangements for Miss Elizabeth Ann Smith of Forest City. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. The complete information on these and others, as they become available, can be heard at 11:35 this morning and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherford. And the most information for the foothills. Well, the Braves split it off yesterday. They had a doubleheader to make up for a game that got rained out the night before. The Braves played first game. Rangers beat them 12-8. And then the second game, Braves came back and beat the Rangers 5-4 in game 2. Now, tonight, the Braves will be playing Miami at home, so it's a good thing. They're playing in Atlanta, I guess, instead of down in Miami right now, but they are playing tonight. 6:20 showtime, but we'll join that pregame following News 13 at 6. High school football action's coming up tomorrow night as well. Our game of the week is going to be Chase at East Henderson. All the teams are on the road tomorrow night. We'll have that Chase East Henderson game tomorrow night, broadcast live here on WCAB and on Northland Cable Channel 5 and streaming on the World Wide Web. Hope you'll join us for those broadcasts.
Barack Hussein Obama is on the sidelines now, but that didn't stop him from mouthing off after Trump ended the DACA program. That's the unconstitutional amnesty Obama gave to people who came here illegally as children. In a lengthy statement, Obama said targeting these young people is wrong because they've done nothing wrong. He called Trump's actions cruel and self-defeating. Obama said this is about whether we are a people who kick hopeful young strivers out of America. Mr. Obama, you call this a political decision and a moral question, but it is a legal decision. It's a constitutional question. Before you decided to act politically to grant this amnesty, you yourself admitted you didn't have the constitutional authority to do it. But you did it anyway, knowing the Republican establishment wouldn't say anything and the drive-bys would applaud. The only thing Trump did was follow the Constitution, which stipulates that Congress makes our laws. And now that the president's given Congress 6 months to act before anything changes, they can reclaim their constitutional role in immigration law. Who gave tens of thousands of these hopeful young strivers false hope in order to satisfy cheap political objectives? That was you, Mr. Obama. You used these kids like pawns because you hope they future voters for the Democrat Party. That's what's cruel. Business travel is a game of wins and losses. An open seat next to you on your flight, you win. A reclining seat in front of you, you lose. Buying your business trip at Upside.com, that is a triple win. You see, Upside has the absolute best available prices for flights, hotel, and rental cars. That's win number one. Win number two is how Upside rewards you with a gift card to sites like Amazon every time you buy a business trip. And the third win is the amazing 6-star treatment you get from Upside's Navigators, their customer service specialists. Navigators are instantly accessible 24/7 on the Upside app. And right now, you go to Upside.com and use the code USA, and you'll get a minimum $100 gift card to Amazon.com when you buy your next business trip. That's simple, folks. Just use the code USA, Upside.com. You deserve a better business trip, and Upside.com is how you get it.
Minimum purchase required. See site for complete details.
Mr. and Mrs. Business Owners, get your better return from your marketing dollars with the Sales and Advertising Department at WCAB. Get triple coverage from AM 590, Northland Cable Channel 5, and the World Wide Web. It works. Call Tracy or Jim. 287-3356.
We will never fully understand what we've asked of our military service members or their families, asking them to put themselves in harm's way, to endure it all. But we do understand that it's our turn, our duty, to keep them secure for the rest of their lives. Wounded Warrior Project long-term support programs help our most severely ill or injured veterans live independently, at no cost for life, so that they might stand at ease. Join us at findwwp.org.
Hello, this is Phyllis with Loveless Financial Group. Today I want to talk to you about a CD alternative. With rates at the bank averaging less than 1%, how can you earn at least 3% for 60 months? We check rates every Monday to see what is the best rate. Let's look at real money, not interest rates. $100,000 at 3%, the annual return is $3,000. $100,000 at a half of a percent is $500. So which do you want? Call me to set up a time to see if we can't help you get more income for you and your family. You can start with as little as $5,000, and you can add to this account at any time. With 35 years in the financial business, I've been helping people make the most with their money, and certainly for me, our friends, our clients, our family members have been a blessing to our business. If I can help you, or if you want to know more information, call me at Loveless Financial Group, 431 South Main Street in Rellerton, 828-288-1378. This is Phyllis saying bye for now.
Well, with fall of the year not too far away and the temperature cooling down and breeze is blowing, it'd be a great time for you to have a beautiful, good-sounding wind chime at your house, wouldn't it? Like to hear those? Well, Washburn Store's got a great selection of wind chimes right now. Why don't you check in with theirs and get something unique and something different? Also, you'll find local honey still available for sale. Stick candy is always available. You'll find Pointer overalls and a good selection of those for any size person in your family. Maybe it's a gift for somebody or for yourself. Why don't you check with Washburn Store? Check with them first. You won't need to go anywhere else. Between Bostic and Sunshine on the Bostic Sunshine Highway. That's where you'll find our good friends at Washburn Store.
Throughout the Old West, when the cry of gold or silver went out, towns sprang up overnight, and more often than not, they disappeared almost as fast as they appeared. In early 1907, Rawhide, Nevada, comprised of a few hard rock miners and a tobacco can nailed on a pole that served as the post office. Then gold was discovered. Throughout the winter, people started arriving. By spring, Rawhide had 28 restaurants, 40 saloons, 30 hotels, 10 barber shops, 2 churches, 125 brokerage offices handling the trading of mines, and a red light district they called Stingery Gulch. For 2 years, the miners mined the mines, the gamblers mined the miners, and the merchants and brokerage offices mined them all. Then on September 5, 1908, a frontier town's greatest fear happened. Rawhide caught on fire. You see, the buildings of frontier towns were almost always made of wood, and after a short time in the desert dryness, the wood became kindling. Even the most sophisticated town would have a pumper wagon pulled by manpower, and when the tank was empty, the town would burn down before it was refilled. For Rawhide, in less than an hour, the whole town was ablaze. By the next morning, nothing was left but smoldering ashes. But the townspeople immediately started rebuilding. Unfortunately, even before the project was done, the rains came and a flash flood washed everything away. By now, the gold from the mines had started petering out, and what the wrath of God couldn't accomplish, the fickle hand of Midas completed. So everyone left to the next great opportunity. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Libsay.
We're being kind today to Todd and Melanie Blankenship over in the Green Creek community, and they're celebrating their 26th wedding anniversary today, so we congratulate them on this big anniversary. 17 now past 7. We're going to the phones now, get started with our reports, find out what's been happening around the neighborhood, and Sheriff Chris Francis is on the phone with me right now to give us an update. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning, Jim. How you doing this morning?
I'm loving this weather.
I tell you what, it felt good last night. Finally, a little bit of fall weather.
Yeah. And just a cautionary measure for those folks traveling this morning, there's still some fog out there to deal with, so you may run into a big dip of fog there, so please watch out for that and drive slowly and carefully around those curves.
And use those headlights.
Use those headlights.
For other people to see them on them.
That's exactly right. Sheriff, tell us what's been going on.
Jim, the last 24 hours, the Ruff County Sheriff's Office has responded to 132 calls for service. There's been 10 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 196. Among those arrests, Sean Douglas Lewis, 18-year-old white male of Hendersonville, was charged with 6 counts of breaking and entering into a motor vehicle, 2 counts of larceny of a motor vehicle, 3 counts of larceny, and 1 larceny of a firearm. He has a total bond of $90,000. We have Jonathan Aaron Byers, a 25-year-old white male of Ruston, possession of stolen property, $10,000 secure bond. Brittany Ann Twyman, a 28-year-old white female from Marion, North Carolina, was charged with failure to appear and received a $10,000 secure bond. Douglas Ryan Hipp, a 26-year-old white male of Ruston, was charged with failure to appear and received a $1,500 secure bond. Kevin Antoine Davis, a 33-year-old white male of Greensboro, was charged with possession of a controlled substance and possession of a phone by inmate. He was charged at the Spindale camp and was returned back to prison there. Kevin Wayne Rollins, a 43-year-old white male of Ruston, was charged with possession of meth and chop shop activity, received a $10,000 secure bond. Adrian Darnell Camp, a 40-year-old white male of Forest City, was charged with felony possession of Schedule 2 and reckless driving, received a $30,000 secure bond. Jessica Shea Parker, 37-year-old white female of Union Mills, was charged with failure to appear, received a $5,000 secure bond. William Kyle Bowen, 25-year-old white male of Forest City, was charged with breaking and entering and larceny, as well as Shelby Nicole Phillips, 24-year-old white female, was charged with breaking and entering and larceny and also a failure to appear. Her bond was $10,500 and his was $10,000, and they were both responsible and charged with the breaking and entering to Spakes drive-in there that we had last week. Among the incidents, we had a breaking and entering and larceny on Hardy Drive in Rutherford. A Husqvarna chainsaw valued at $600 was stolen from an outbuilding. We had a financial card fraud on Cove Road and Union Road. At Cove Road and Union Road there was a $184 looks like charge off of a debit card that was fraudulently made. And we had an ID theft on Hog Pen Branch Road in Mooresboro by opening up credit cards in the victim's name without consent. And we had a larceny of a motor vehicle on Island Ford Road. It was a white 1989 Toyota pickup truck with a tag, North Carolina registration plate PEB 7580, and that was valued at $5,000. Jim, that's what we had to report today.
Sheriff, I received one of those calls yesterday. I got in yesterday after work and checked my voicemail, my answering machine at the house, and it said, I could tell right off the bat that it was a computer-generated call because they didn't wait till the message stopped before they started talking. It said the FBI and the IRS has a warrant for your arrest. It is very serious that you do not ignore this. You need to call this number immediately to keep yourself from being arrested, and it left a number. So I packed my toothbrush and my change of underwear, and I stood by the door waiting for you guys to come pick me up, take me away.
Jim, there's no such thing, and I appreciate you mentioning to everybody. Again, if you get one of those that says there's a warrant for you for the IRS, you owe money, please understand they do not do business that way, and they don't even contact the FBI to help serve those warrants on that. So please make sure that you don't get too excited about that and call them and give them any information or any money.
I could tell when they didn't wait for the voice machine to finish its introduction of whose house it is. They started talking. It was computer generated because they don't. If it had been a human person, they would have waited, started talking until they got right into it. But I let Faye listen to it, and I said, I guess I'll be going to jail here pretty soon. But
well, no, you won't. But I tell you what, I'm glad they called you so you can let everybody else know that it is a scam. So we hopefully won't have anybody to fall for that one. And
exactly.
And hopefully, if anybody gets excited, just to make a phone call and let us listen. But it's going to be a scam, no doubt.
And one other thing, Sheriff, someone called this morning. It's maybe a little early for us to be discussing this, but she was concerned and wanting to know if indeed Irma turns into be Hugo, for instance, and moves in. Are there shelters designated in the county for folks can go to should it overflow with rain?
I actually have a meeting this morning with the emergency or our EMERT team, and I'm anxious to hear what kind of plans we're going to have together. We have a lot of fire chiefs that's going to be involved in that meeting, and our 911 communication staff is going to be involved in that meeting. So and some other police chiefs. So we are pre-planning just to make sure, and that is the topic of the day today, and that's we're going to have that meeting this morning. Okay. Fairly early, so hope to have more answers, but I feel comfortable that you have people in place that are making decisions early enough in case something were to happen. We're definitely taking it serious.
Good. I feel comfortable with the fact the weekend's going to be very nice weather-wise, and if Irma does decide to turn inward, probably not going to affect us, but you never know. Hugo, we didn't think Hugo was coming either, but it certainly did.
I think it's always better to be prepared.
Absolutely. Sheriff, I appreciate you very much, and keep us posted, and we'll talk to you again next time.
Thank you, sir, and take care.
Bye-bye. That's Sheriff Francis. 24 now past 7. You know, when you need a plumber, you want someone with a reputation of getting right out to you and getting the job done for you the right way. That'll be Umstead Plumbing. Since 1973, the Umstead family has been serving homeowners and builders with the best of service. From unclogging a drain to replacing fixtures and appliances to remodeling jobs, their top quality work, fair prices, and punctual service has made them the area's leading plumbing firm. Eric and Chad are continuing that family tradition, and they'd like to serve you. Call 245-7302. Experience plus equipment equals excellence. Umstead Plumbing at 245-7302. Here's Candy now with the 911 communications report. Candy, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us what's been going on in your department.
In the past 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications Center has processed 422 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 26 for EMS, 16 for rescue. For law enforcement, the Sheriff's Office had 132, Forest City had 95, Rutherford had 20, Lake Lure had 5, and Spindale had 46. Our fire callers, Union Mills, responded to a motor vehicle accident, and that's all we had.
Thanks, Candy. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
If you suffer from foot or ankle pain, you should know there's advanced care available to you right here in Rutherford County. Dr. Jason Glover of Rutherford Orthopedics is the only fellowship-trained foot and ankle surgeon in our region. Now, what does that mean for you? It means a greater level of expertise that comes through advanced studies and research. You have options when it comes to foot and ankle care. So, learn more. Visit www.myrutherfordregional.com/orthopedics.
Ruby Taylor is up next with the report from Danieltown area, SDO Fire District. Ruby, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on your report?
Well, the fire department didn't have any calls, and I've got one birthday, and that's Greg Glale, and hope he has a nice day. And the signs are in the head today and tomorrow. And, Jim, that's all I got.
Ruby, I appreciate it. Thanks. Have a good day.
You too, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Hot temperatures on the highway can be brutal on your automobile. RS Speedy Lube is there to help keep your automobile running clean. Keep the oil changed regularly. They'll check the fluids, vacuum the car. Next door, get the service you need on brakes, radiator, exhaust, CV joints, and radiator flush. RS Service Center also includes service on big trucks and campers. For the best car wash, it's the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash. RS Speedy Lube Service Center is a complete service center inside, outside, and down under Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton.
Stop into Save-A-Lot Grocery and save big money every day. Choose from a variety of name brand merchandise at incredible low prices. Save big on fresh meats, vegetables, pastries, frozen foods, deli items, and so much more. They are located in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale. Hours are Monday through Saturday, 8 a.m. until 9 p.m. and Sunday, 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. That's Save-A-Lot Grocery Store in the White Oaks Plaza in Spindale.
Now we're heading up toward Rumney Ball and have Steve on the phone to give us an update from what's happening up there, bear included.
I'm shivering this morning. I wore my lightweight jacket and my toboggan, and I am catching a lot of flack from folks coming in the shorts.
Oh, yeah.
You're that guy from Florida.
There's always a show out somewhere.
Well, guess what? There's going to be a lot of people here from Florida, so we're going to outnumber a lot of these folks.
There you go.
This weekend, I mean, there are a ton of people coming up, outrunning all the potentials involved in the storms. So what we're doing early prep, it's good to always prepare early and be ready for any calamities or whatever. I don't expect any here, but we could lose power for a while, and if everybody loses power, there's going to be some delays in I'm sure in getting some of that restored, because if everybody's power goes out, they'll be spread pretty thin.
Sure.
So we're just doing what we need to do to just be prepared. Lot to consider. So and watching that path, it doesn't look too looks pretty threatening. So we're watching it.
Yeah, good. Yes. Doesn't pay to take your eye off what's happening out there right now.
Absolutely not. I'm listening to all the updates. But I'm going to remind folks this weekend, specifically Saturday, there's going to be a barbecue sponsored by the Fairfield Mountains Fire Department, and it's going to be real good here. Every year, a lot of folks come to it, to any event they have where they cook food. It's always very good, and this year, I'm sure there'll be a lot attended here. There'll be more folks than normal for this time of year. Tickets for adults are $12, $5 for children, and it starts this Saturday, 4 p.m. and up to 7 o'clock. So it'll be at the fire department, and I'm sure it'll be very welcomed. We're excited about it. But in the meantime, we'll do all we need to do to prepare for the worst, and hopefully this hurricane will maybe veer to the east.
Steve, is it headed toward the direction where you used to live?
Yes, it is. I lived in Central Florida, but 80 miles from the coast.
Yeah.
My brother lives there, and he may be coming and paying me a visit. That's why I'm doing all this early preparation.
Sure.
So I can concentrate on what needs to be concentrated on when the time comes. We may have some other friends come up from Jacksonville, and we lived about 10 miles off the coast there, and so our friends, some of them live closer than that. So they definitely don't need to stay. Based on what we're seeing here, it could turn, but once it turns, or if it doesn't turn, you don't have too much time to react.
Right. Well, it's good to have a family reunion, but not in those conditions.
No, you're right.
Well, South Carolina's doing a good thing. South Carolina Attorney General Alan Wilson announced that the state's law against price gouging is now in effect. They don't want folks gouging gasoline prices and other things, so that is gone into effect. And they're asking folks, if you note the price you paid, if you feel like it might be over the normal standard, let somebody know, and they're going to make some arrests of people who gouge in South Carolina.
Yes, that's an excellent. I'm glad they jumped on that early.
I am too.
So there's other things to consider too. I think didn't our governor also make some proclamations yesterday?
Yes, right.
So
declared a state of emergency for North Carolina as well. So we're watching all that, and we'll keep folks posted. Just stay tuned to the radio.
We'll be here.
Steve, thanks. Have a great day, and you be safe.
Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All righty.
Bye-bye. Steve there in Romney Ball overlooking things for us, 32 minutes after 7.
Health insurance is complicated, and with healthcare reform on the way, it's not getting any simpler. If you've got questions, we've got agents. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent can walk you through the changes and offer you the right healthcare plan with the right benefits for you. Healthcare may be changing, but our superior service isn't. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
It's a for sure thing. Sisk Family Ford in Forest City is earning a quality reputation for offering an attractive inventory of new and used cars and trucks. If you want a new Ford truck, you'll be a smart shopper to let Sisk Family Ford quote you a deal. From a car for the newlywed to the car for the large family, let the Sisk Family Company help your family get the best deal. Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City.
Now we're up at Hudlow, Volunteer Fire District Community, and Bob Hodge is on the phone to give us an update. Bob, good morning. How you doing?
Oh, we're doing just fine on this good, cool Thursday morning.
Oh, isn't it a nice morning?
It is. I have 49 on my thermometer out here, so it's a lot of difference it was a few weeks ago when the lows was 70 there. getting that time of the year and everything. But that hurricane's still going strong, so looks like it's going to hit Florida there next couple of days there. So.
And there's another one brewing out in the ocean too. I forgot the name of that one, but it's there's another one right behind it that's stirring up trouble.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll die out there in the ocean.
Yeah, maybe he'll turn and go the other way there.
Yeah, I hope so.
I think one of them's going to Mexico. So.
Yeah.
But look like they talk like that, and like they hit Florida, it might go back out and come back in South Carolina, Georgia. Coastline there, so
I know that one is so unpredictable right now.
Yeah, so we could get some impact off of it first of the week there, according to how it goes there. So and everything, but
fortunately, the folks out in Texas are beginning to dry out a little bit. Water's receding, and they don't have to worry about that flooding anymore for a while, other than clearing things out and trying to get their houses rebuilt and the businesses rebuilt.
Yes, well. That's a good thing it's not going back in that way there, because, like you say, they're getting cleaned up a little bit back there in Texas.
Yeah.
Look like gas lines are long there. Some of the stations around here is running out. I noticed several yesterday didn't have any gas, so some people lining up getting gas there, I guess, trying to get out of Florida there.
Yeah, I think so.
And Jim, up here with the fire department, no fire calls doing tonight, so that's good, and maybe it'll stay that way. And I hope you have a good day over there, and you take care, and I'll be talking to you in the morning.
Thanks, Bob. I appreciate it. Keep us posted, and you have a great day.
You too.
Right,
bye-bye.
The entire team at Crow's Funeral Home and Cremation Services can help you with options available. They will help you find a balance between emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved one. During this time, it's important to turn to someone you can trust and depend on. Crow's Mortuary and Crow's Mortuary and Crematory has a long history of trust and dependability. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory. That's 286-2304. Now we're heading over toward the Cherry Mountain Fire District and get a report from Sue Price this morning to see what it's looking like over in that beautiful part of our county. Sue, good morning.
Good morning.
Hope you're doing well today.
I'm doing okay. Hope
good,
you are.
Good, yes, indeed.
Got a nice cool morning to start with.
I'm loving it.
No, 51 degrees over here. But that's okay. It's time for us to start having some of this cool. Might be an early fall for us. Well, let's see. I didn't have any calls from the fire department. Don't have any birthdays on my church calendar or my personal calendar, and Fairview doesn't have anything for today. And First Bow doesn't have anything, so I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries today, so it's kind of quiet over here. Hope everybody that has a birthday or an anniversary has a real good day, though. Get out and enjoy this cool day. And in my announcements, Saturday the 9th, the Mount Pleasant youth of Mount Pleasant Church up in beautiful Golden Valley, the youth group's going to have a hot dog and yard sale at the Golden Valley Community Clubhouse. Starts at 7 o'clock. So come on out and find you some treasures and have a good hot dog and help the youth group. They're planning a trip, I think, so. And the Bostic area yard sale, Saturday, September 23rd, 8 to 1 at the Bostic Lincoln Center on the green. You can reserve a space by calling 828-245-9800. You have to provide your own table, and your $5 donation benefits the building fund. So a good chance to gather up your treasures that you want to part with and take them on over to the Lincoln Center. And so far, that's the only announcements I have, Jim. It's just quiet and calm over this way, looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one.
Thanks, Sue. Keep us posted, and we'll check in with you next time.
Okay, bye-bye.
38 minutes now past the hour of 7 o'clock. Tomorrow morning during the 8:30 hour, around 8:35, I'm going to be interviewing Summer Brooks. She's the voice with the Mountain Faith Band. They made it to the finals of America's Got Talent a few years ago. They've sung at the Super Bowl, been named the 2016 Emerging Artist of the Year, and they are. She's going to be talking with me in the morning right here on radio. So I hope you'll join us for this. A great family of singers, Summer Brook and the Mountain Faith Band. You've heard her CD here on the early morning gospel hour. I'm looking forward to that conversation. We hope you'll join us for that tomorrow morning at 8:35. Meanwhile, if you have not yet been to the website for Southern Carpet, I wish you would do that. If those of you who have access to computers, I know many of you don't want to deal with computers, that's fine. But those of you who do, if you'll just click on to southerncarpet.net, look around and see some of the beautiful colors and beautiful materials and beautiful floors that's available from Southern Carpet. They got all kinds: Bruce hardwood, Appalachian hardwood, ceramic tile, Armstrong vinyl, Tarkett flooring, and beautiful carpet that will look good in your home. You also can check them out on Facebook. Like them on Facebook. Southern Carpet. They're 1512 West Main Street, and they'd welcome you. Come by there to see them during office hours any day. Southern Carpet. Shouldn't they be your carpet store? Union Mills is calling us, or rather we're calling Union Mills, and Brenda Kelly is standing by to take her call and say good morning, Jim.
Good morning, Jim. How are you on this tremendous Thursday morning? The sun's coming up.
Oh, boy, isn't it beautiful?
It is, and it's cold.
Have you had any fog up your way this morning?
No, I haven't seen any fog, huh?
Yeah, well, it's been pretty dense in some areas. It's like a sectional. I'll run into fog, and I'll run out of it and run back into some more fog. And so it's all over the area. So please, people just need to be careful.
Yeah, I know, but you one's got static.
Yeah, I must be on a phone line up there.
But that's all right. It'll be. No, I'm looking down the driveway, and all I can see is the sun peeking up over the trees there, so I don't see any fog. So. But it's always foggy in the low-lying areas around the creeks.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But anyway, I've got 46 degrees on the front porch. We've had 0.8 of an inch of rain. Birthdays today, we've got Dad Clem Reynolds and Nicole Keeter. Don't have any on Round Hill, so we hope these people have a great old big day on their special day. And in ways of announcements, the RS Central Girls Class of 62 is going to meet Friday the 8th at 11:30 at Don's Italian on Oakland Road in Spindale, and that's Dutch treat, and it's a buffet with all kind of pizzas, pasta, and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to go to that, and you're part of the class of 1962, and you're welcome to do it.
Is it just the girls?
Yeah, that's what it says, the girls. They had a thing earlier for everybody. I didn't go because I didn't have nobody to go with me, so I don't like to go places by myself, so I didn't go. But it was, it was off up here somewhere. I don't know.
But this is
between here and Shingle Hollers, I can't think of the name. Bill Elliott's place, I think, or Bill somebody.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
So this is time for the girls to get together and talk about the guys.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah. What was it? Piney Knob something up there. I don't know. But anyway, it's interesting to go. You see people you don't see, but just whenever we get together like that. So, and there's not a whole lot of us left. We're getting up in that age group where we're just dying off.
Do you remember how many was in your graduating class?
It seems like it was 200 and something.
Big class.
Yeah. Well, RS Central was a pretty good sized school.
Yes, it is. Still is.
Yeah. So, seems like it was 200 or close to 200. The main thing I remember about my graduation was when we was lining up, put our hats on, or the mortarboard, or whatever you want to call them, and they said, everybody look at the person in front of you and make sure that their hat is on, wasn't cockeyed or whatever. And so the person behind me was this little short man, Curtis Searcy. He wasn't, and I looked down and I said, Curtis, does my hat look all right? I won't never forget that. But everybody can't be tall, can they?
That's exactly right.
But when I think about graduation, I think about that, and we all just laughed about it. But anyway, say we got a buffet breakfast at the Gilchrist School Community Center. Starts at 7 a.m. until 10 a.m., and that'll be Saturday the 9th. Adults is $6. Kids 6 to 12 is $3. 6 and under free. It's all you can eat. Sausage, bacon, livermousse, gravy, and biscuits, and all the trimmings and proceeds have to go rebuild the Gilchrist School. And then if you want to have a yard sale that day, you can, but you have to have it outside, and you have to bring your own table. For information, you can call 429-9075. And other than that, I don't have nothing going on, I don't reckon. We just stay in tune to the information and seeing what's going on with Irma.
Yep, you got to stay in touch with that. Well, you have a great day up there, and have a good one, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Have a good one. Catch you later.
Thanks, Brenda.
Here's what our customers think about McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC.
I love my McCurry Deck Buick.
I love my McCurry Deck Chevrolet.
We love our McCurry Deck GMC. We guarantee you'll love McCurry Deck Chevrolet Buick GMC for a city.
I am definitely a McCurry Deck customer for life.
I love the price and the McCurry Deck Customer for Life Rewards program. It gives you up to $3,000 or more in rewards.
Take the easy drive to savings. McCurry Deck for a city. Discover the rewards of being a customer for life.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide daycare services for an aging parent or loved one. Rutherford Life Care can be just what you're looking for. Rutherford Life Care offers adults a safe and fun place during the day for medical monitoring, nutritional meals, and daily activities. Rutherford Life is licensed by the state of North Carolina Division of Aging. Call them today and let them answer questions you may have. That's 288-1697, 288-1697. Rutherford Life offers a staff of professionals who show the love and compassion that you entrust your loved ones to. That's Rutherford Life Care Services, located on Thunder Road, Spindale. Again, that phone number is 288-1697. 7:45. Get to the next phone call here in just a moment, but I know there are some of my friends who have begun to lose their hearing have gone to Miracle Ear for that free hearing test and recognized, yes, indeed, it's time to do something. And they've consulted with Lisa Terry, the hearing specialist, and have been very, very, very satisfied with the results. Lisa was able to guide them through the process of finding just the right Miracle Ear instrument that's been effective for them, and they have nothing but praise and bragging on Lisa Terry, the hearing specialist at Miracle Ear. You can do the same thing, and if it's time to start looking into something, go by Miracle Ear. Lisa's in the Forest City office on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and other times by appointment. You'll find her at 1512 West Main Street, Suite 102, right near the Southern Carpet office. That's Miracle Ear. Now we're heading toward Ellenboro, and we get Luther Gilligan on the phone, and see what's going on. Luther, I hope you had a good birthday the other day.
Hey, I had a good time.
Good.
Still eating cake.
I was going to say, did you eat all the cake, or you have some left?
Well, I ate all one. Had two.
Goodness gracious.
Hey, more the merrier.
Well, stretch it out, because funnel cakes are coming.
That's right. I'm looking for them already. The funnel cakes, the corn on the cob, the hamburgers, and hot dogs, and barbecue, and the cakes, and the pies, the cookies, and all that stuff. Won't be long, though. About, let's see, 10 more days, and we'll be there. So we're just looking forward to it. But it's quiet there. There's nothing going on. Everybody just trying to get the week over with. Already on the downhill side of the week already. Everybody just going to work, getting a coffee and a biscuit, and heading on that. City Fire Department, they had one call yesterday, but it got canceled on it before it got too far away, so they just turned around and come back. And nothing happened. Nothing else happened. Everybody was quiet last night. I got to sleep all night. But we want to wish happy birthday day to Kent Brooks. He's having birthday day, so hope he has a great day. And like I said, nothing else going on, so you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Luther, thanks. You have a great day, too. Keep us posted, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Take care now.
Bye. Luther Gilligan reporting out of Ellenboro there this morning. And now it's time for birthdays and anniversaries for the 7th day of September. So the phone lines now are clear for birthdays, 287-3356, and anniversaries. And we'll give away a dozen of Daylight Donuts from Granny B's this morning. Those that call in are eligible to be in the drawing. 287-3356.
The Recliner Center is happy to introduce new styles of Spring Air mattresses. Some come with the cool gel that you're going to love. Remember the days when you could flip your mattress? Well, Spring Air is now offering the flippable mattress. Check out these for a really great night's sleep. The Recliner Center is needing to make room for some new styles of lift chairs, recliners, and sofas, and you're going to get some special deals on the floor models and extra inventory in the store. Now, you always know you get the best deals in town at the Recliner Center, and now's the best time to go shopping. Check on the inventory of new recliners, sofas, and lift chairs coming in. Now, some of the styles have a new water-repellent fabric. Water beads up instead of soaking into the fabric. Leave it to the Recliner Center to offer you the best choices and best prices. Ask to see the new wall hugger style of furniture. Hours are Wednesday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturday 9 to 2. The Recliner Center on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherford.
That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today. While they're fresh, they're good, they're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about. Happy birthday. Well, happy anniversary today to Todd and Melanie Blankenship of the Green Creek community. It's their 26th wedding anniversary. Also, we want to wish a happy birthday to Victoria Lauder. Victoria is 14, lives down in the Chase community. Other folks celebrating include Dustin Weiss, Christine McNeely, 18 over at Sunshine, Jimmy Bradley, 65, over Forest City, Eli Crowder is 13 over the Oakley community, Betty Lancaster of Sandy Bush having a birthday, Dingo Towery also celebrating, and Autumn Towery had a birthday yesterday. Also celebrating on the 7th is Dad Clem Reynolds and Nicole Keeter. So happy birthday, everybody. In just a minute, one of these folks whose name was called in will be in the drawing for the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. We'll find out who that is in just a moment.
We often fear the unknown. Many have experienced the first mortgage jitters or the trepidation of moving to a new city because of a job transfer, or worse yet, no job at all. The number of times the psalmist talked about overcoming fear indicates he certainly knew what it was. Harold Myra tells of browsing in a Delaware Water Gap gift shop and noticing a card with the following verse, "And I said to the man who stood at the gate of the year, 'Give me light, that I may tread safely into the unknown.' And he replied, 'Go out into the darkness, and put your hand into the hand of God. That shall be to you better than light, and safer than the known way.'" The songwriter said, "I don't know about tomorrow. I just live from day to day. I don't borrow from its sunshine, for its skies may turn to gray. I don't worry for the future, for I know what Jesus said, and today he walks beside me, for he knows what is ahead. Many things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand. As you go about your tasks today, put your hand in the hand of the man who calmed the troubled sea." This is Bill Hostler with today's Key to Confident Living. Scripts for today's Key to Confident Living are now available in book form by calling toll-free 1-888-333-KEYS.
And a big congratulations going out to the donut winner, Daylight Donuts from Granny B's. The winner is Eli Crowder of Oakland Community. He's 13. We'll have a certificate over here to come by and pick that up and enjoy those donuts, and I know you will. Well, coming up the next hour, 8:35 this morning, Dr. Bob is in holding office hours. He's the author of the book, Dr. Bob's Grocery Store Medicine and Healthy Life Anecdotes, and takes your questions about what's ailing you or what he'd recommend from a natural standpoint. All that straight ahead here on WCAB.
Until I kissed NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. At least 10 people have died in Hurricane Irma's wrath, including 8 on the island resort of St. Martin. CBS News correspondent Tony Docapel is in Puerto Rico at this hour.
We're in the ballroom where people were lined up for dinner, and suddenly water started dropping heavily from the ceiling. And they're afraid now that the roof is going to potentially cave in over here. A ceiling tile just fell from there, and you can hear the water just cascading down.
It's still too early to tell how North Carolina will be impacted by this monster storm, but Governor Roy Cooper is not taking any chances. He declared a state of emergency for the entire state. That started today. He said while emergency officials are preparing for Irma, so should the residents of North Carolina.
The state is doing what we want the people of North Carolina to do, and that is get ready for Hurricane Irma. It's time to get your family, your pets, and your businesses prepared Irma as well.
As Hurricane Irma heads toward Florida this morning, Governor Rick Scott is worried about the wind and catastrophic flooding from water from the hurricane as it pushes onto land.
There's going to be rain, but my biggest concern is people don't understand the amount of potential storm surge. This can cover homes, and we just haven't seen this. We didn't see this in Andrew, and we haven't seen this, so I think people have to really understand you've got to listen to your local officials. This storm surge can kill you.
North Carolina's elections agency has followed through on previous plans to give President Donald Trump's commission investigating voter fraud access only to publicly available data. The state's chief elections regulator wrote a letter to a top leader of the Trump advisory panel on Wednesday. State environmental officials say they'll test groundwater for people living near a Fayetteville chemical plant for finding worrying signs of unregulated Gen X. You're listening to NCN News.
As many farmers throughout America know, cover crops improve soil health and the bottom line. Pennington Seed has been trusted for over 70 years and now offers high-quality cover crop seed. Whether a standard mix developed to provide a variety of benefits or custom mix specific to your farm's unique growing conditions, Pennington will help protect one of your most vital resources, the soil. Improve your soil and increase profits with Pennington Cover Crop Seed. Visit us at buycovercrops.com to learn more.
This is the best time of year to come to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue for one of our fresh combo platters, made perfect with sips of Smithfield's famous sweet tea. I get it, Juicy Bird fried chicken is one delicious part of the combo, but don't forget the fresh, slow-cooked barbecue. And pulled pork barbecue. With our combo platters, you can love both.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
Getting ready for whatever Irma decides to do as the storm continues on a track towards Florida, but North Carolina is expected to get some impacts early next week regardless of the storm's path. State Emergency Management Director Mike Sprayberry says that Monday and Tuesday is the most critical time for the state right now.
We're unsure as to whether it's going to be a coastal event, whether it's going to be a western event, or whether it's going to go through right up the middle of our state. So we are urging all people in North Carolina to be prepared for the impacts of Hurricane Irma.
Not everyone is out to help their fellow human during a hurricane.
I'm Jim Taylor. It's the dark side of human nature during disaster. Reports of people making a buck off the crisis at the price gouging call center setup in Florida.
Most callers, of course, were concerned about the price of food, water, and ice.
This is Attorney General Pam Bondi says they've received 1,500 complaints in 2 days.
The majority of those referencing water.
She says gasoline also a major concern, the price and the availability.
Deputies are looking for the man they say killed another man late last night in Catawba County, just south of Hickory. Authorities were called to the scene around 10 p.m. last night. The U.S. has new proposed sanctions against North Korea following Pyongyang's most recent nuclear test. The Draft Security Council resolution that would ban all oil and natural gas exports to North Korea, potentially devastating its economy. The measure also would freeze all of North Korea and Kim's foreign financial assets and outlaw North Korean textile exports. CBS News Foreign Affairs analyst Pamela Falk is at the United Nations.
The proposed resolution would mark the first time Kim's assets have been personally targeted by economic sanctions. CBS News obtained a draft of the resolution Wednesday.
Get your message to the thousands. Call the WCAB Sales Department today at 287-3356.
ABC News. I'm Sherry Preston. Hurricane Irma is still a Category 5 storm with 180-mile-an-hour winds as it pummels the Caribbean, and Florida prepares for a direct hit. We start with ABC's Lindsay Janis, who rode the storm out on Puerto Rico.
Hurricane Irma has been battering this island. We had wind gusts here in San Juan reaching 70 miles per hour and sustained winds at 55 miles per hour for hours. Trees falling, debris flying through the air, widespread power outages. At least 1 million people across Puerto Rico are without power.
This is Gio Benitez in Key West, where they're under a mandatory evacuation right now. In fact, they've added a bus service, a free bus service from Key West over to the shelter in Miami. They want people to stay safe. They are really concerned about possible storm surges here and major flooding.
This is Alex Stone in New Smyrna Beach, Florida, several hours north of Miami. Here it's a rush to get gas and supplies. People here along Florida's East Coast are being told to begin boarding up today. That come Sunday, Hurricane Irma could arrive as a Category 3 or 4 storm in this area.
At least 10 people have been killed in the storm, most of the deaths in St. Martin. This American woman works at a resort on the island. She says they're in a serious state of emergency.
It's a disaster out there. Most homes have completely washed away.
The Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda says the destruction there is heartbreaking.
On a per capita basis, the extent of the destruction in Barbuda is unprecedented.
It's still unclear what parts of Florida will get the worst of Irma. Donald Trump Jr. meeting privately with Senate investigators today to discuss his meeting last year with that Russian lawyer. House Speaker Paul Ryan expected to have dinner tonight with President Trump at the White House. The president is siding with Democrats on debt ceiling negotiations. Their plan is to extend the debt ceiling for 3 months and to tack on hurricane relief funding. You're listening to ABC News.
Prices are for base buildings only. Do not include windows, doors, or accessories. The economic recovery we've all been waiting for is finally here. Stocks are soaring, and construction spending across America has been on the rise. If you've been waiting to build, the time is now. Whether you want to expand your business or you want to build a new garage, call General Steel today at 888-98 Steel. Our metal building kits bolt together quickly and are custom designed for your needs. For example, a 40x60 is a great space for an auto shop, RV and camper storage, or 3-car garage. And if you call General Steel today, it's on sale now for under $25,000. Or imagine a 50x100 clear span building for under $40,000, suitable for the booming warehousing industry, manufacturing facilities, or a church sanctuary. That's 5,000 square feet for $8 or less per foot. Call 888-98 Steel. 888-98 Steel. With construction in high demand, this special pricing won't last long. Call to lock your building price today. Call 888-98 Steel. That's 888-987-8335.
A dozen states and the District of Columbia have filed a lawsuit over the Trump administration's decision to rescind DACA.
In the Trump administration's decision to roll back protections for children of undocumented immigrants, Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson sees racism.
The president has made numerous statements on the campaign trail and in office disparaging Mexicans.
Since 80% of DACA beneficiaries are Mexican, the lawsuit said they're being targeted over their national origin.
If the overwhelming majority of Dreamers were Caucasian, does anybody really think this president would have taken the action he took yesterday?
The administration said DACA would end in 6 months to give Congress time to find a legislative fix. Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
President Trump traveling to North Dakota last night to push his tax plan.
The president saying tax preparers won't be happy with his plan to make them simpler.
H&R Block will not be supporting Donald Trump, I can tell you.
Mr. Trump wants fewer brackets, lower rates, and to drop corporate tax rates as low as 15%.
The taxes are crazy.
Some economists questioning how the government will find enough cash to pay its bills with such dramatic tax cuts and no equal spending cuts. Andy Field, ABC News.
Amazon has opened a search for a second headquarters, promising to spend more than $5 billion on whatever site it picks. Founder Jeff Bezos says the new headquarters will be a full equal to its Seattle counterpart with as many as 50,000 jobs. They're looking at metropolitan areas with more than 1 million people that have the potential of attracting top tech talent. This is ABC News.
Your morning's first news.
Good morning, America. We want to get right to that breaking news.
Never just the headlines, always digging deeper, reporting the facts you deserve. The exclusive news-breaking interviews, what everyone's talking about. Robin, George, Michael.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Serving up what you need and what you want. First thing every morning.
Good morning, America.
That's why GMA is America's #1 morning show.
We'll see you in the morning on GMA.
And we thank you.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Beautiful weather expected for the next few days. An area of high pressure settles in behind a cold front that rolled through yesterday. We'll have mostly sunny skies today. High temperatures in the middle to upper 70s. The humidity will be very low today. Overnight tonight into Friday morning, clear skies and cooler with temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s. And then Friday's forecast sunshine with highs in the mid to upper 70s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks for being in the Weather Center and keeping us updated on the weather and the storms that's brewing out in the across around near Florida and coming up towards South Carolina. Thanks for keeping us posted. Right now we have 52 degrees here, and our weekend's going to be beautiful, absolutely nice. The highest temperature we're going to get is on Friday and Saturday at 75. That'll be our high. The overnight low would be as low as 55. 52 tonight, and then 55 Friday night, and Saturday night 55, and Sunday night 57. And then coming in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that's when we may start seeing the any rainfall that may be developing from Irma. If we may get it anyway, but that's the prediction, and only a 70% chance of that happening though on Monday night, 60% on Tuesday, and 40% on Wednesday. So right now it doesn't look like a major, doesn't look like a major rainfall, but between now and Monday or Tuesday, certainly anything can change in the weather. And we'll be on top of it with our national sources, our state sources, as well as our local sources as well. And you can always check the weather from our website 24/7 at www.wcab59.com. Right now, again, it's 52 degrees, 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Dr. Bob's in here in just about 30 minutes from right now, taking your questions on how to live healthy naturally. Congratulations to Eli Crowder of Oakland Community. Eli's just turned teenager. He's 13, and he won the Daylight Donuts this morning from Grady B's. And we're being kind to Todd and Melanie Blankenship on their 26th wedding anniversary. They live over in the Green Creek community. If you'd like to fill in a Be Kind To date for this month, we got some dates open. Looks like on the 12th, which is Tuesday of next week, 12th and 13th and 14th and 15th, and the 19th are open for next week and the next. So please call yours in to us now. Birthdays and anniversaries, we're asking you to be at least 18 years old or older to be on this Be Kind To, and we'll celebrate with you all day long on those days. All right, we got a lot to cover, a lot of things to talk about, a lot to cover, plus Dr. Bob in this morning. So let's get rolling on this, and I'll do that right after this.
Turn your kitchen or bath into the room of your dreams with the beautiful craftsmanship of today's kitchen and bath cabinetry. They offer the finest wood textures, finishes, and detailing. For professional installation and free estimates, call Roy, Bob, or Clifton at 429-5376 or 429-8796. Create the home of your dreams and let today's kitchen and bath help make them come true. They're located on the Ellenboro-Henrietta Road in Ellenboro, and please take note that the number in our Foothills News Journal is incorrect. The correct number for today's kitchen and bath is 828-429-8796 or 429-5376.
And if you did not get a Foothills Journal in the mail, some sections did not. If you did not get one in the mail, we have those here. We have some for you. Just stop by here and pick up what you need. Also, if you want to send one to somebody, and I've got to do that, by the way. I've got to stick some in the mail. But if you want to share with a friend or neighbor or your family, you saw their picture in there and you want to share that with them, please come out and get some extra copies. We've got some extra just for you. All right, let's look at some stories now. The Daily Courier is reporting, and it was announced yesterday morning during the commission report about the Rutherford County Airport to be resurfaced. The Rutherford County Airport will likely undergo some much-needed improvements because of a possible $4.6 million in federal funding through the FAA. The Rutherford County Airport Authority cleared the way Tuesday night by adopting a resolution to receive the funding. Officials say it is just in time to allow the project to be completed prior to expected increase in air traffic generated by the World Equestrian Games to be hosted in the fall of 2018 by Tryon International Equestrian Center, located across the county line there in Polk County. They will be using our airport in many cases, and it does need to be expanded and resurfaced, and more companies that are coming into our area to look at us, they need a place to land those big planes. So congratulations congratulations to the airport authority and this possibility of resurfacing the runway. Also, an additional $250,000 will soon be available to help determine the future of the Cliffside Sanitary District. County Commissioners approved that resolution, formally requesting two separate grants, one for $100,000 and the other for $150,000 to secure to help that Cliffside Sanitary District. Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy 2020 Vision Project is progressing. They took a large step Tuesday night in moving forward with the 2020 Vision Project, which could cost approximately $27 million by deciding to construct a new high school facility at the Avondale campus. There was talk of it moving to a different location, but the board decided using the property there at Avondale. The goal of the project is to have a new high school facility to be ready by the year 2020 for the graduating class. The class of 2020 will be the first group of students at the school who were part of a kindergarten class which began in 2007. Spindale Police Department looking for a suspect they'd like your help with. They're seeking public assistance in identifying a suspect. The suspect was attempting a breaking and entering and damage to property of a vending machine at 147 Oak Street, Spindale, at about 4:30 a.m. on Wednesday. Spindale police are also investigating a breaking and entering and larceny at Manual Woodworkers and Weavers at 141 Spindale Street that occurred on August 20th. Multiple items were taken. The suspect was caught on camera attempting to break into a vending machine. Suspects appeared to be white male, and anyone with any information are please asked to call the Spindale Police Department or any official. They'll help you get to the right sort. Let's help find these folks and get them off the street. SDO Fire Department responded to a call at approximately 8:30 p.m. Tuesday to a lightning strike on the roof of a residence on Airport Road off Lamb's Grill Road near the county line. Fire Chief Greg Roop said there was damage to the roof that went into the attic. The electrical components in the home were damaged and the meter box had to be pulled. By Duke Energy, the couple stayed at the home of friends. Roop believes that after the electrical work is completed, the home should be livable again. Other stories around the area pertaining to Irma. States of emergency have been issued in South Carolina, North Carolina, and parts of Georgia in anticipation of Hurricane Irma's arrival early next week. South Carolina Governor Henry McMaster issued an executive order yesterday declaring state of emergency for the possibility of Hurricane Irma impacting the state. The executive order allows state agencies to coordinate resources in preparation for the storm. Governor Roy Cooper declared a state of emergency for all 100 counties in North Carolina as that state, our state, prepares for Hurricane Irma. The order will go into effect at 8 a.m. this morning. The state of emergency will waive truck weight, size, and hours of service restrictions. It also facilitates movement of resources in the state. So they're getting prepared for what may come. Also, state of emergency in Georgia for 6 coastal counties, including Bryan, Camden, Chatham, Glenn, Liberty, and McIntosh counties. Not all of the state, but just portion of those states, a portion of the state in various counties. Hurricane Irma is a Category 5 hurricane currently located west-northwest off the Dominican Republic's northern coast. Latest forecast tracks for the storm show it could make landfall as a Category 1 hurricane near Charleston by Tuesday of next week. But even Category 1 is pretty strong. South Carolina also did a pretty good, sensible thing. The Attorney General, Alan Wilson, announced that the state's law against price gouging is in effect. Since Governor Henry McMaster declared the state of emergency, with the possibility that Hurricane Irma could make landfall in South Carolina, our people have already started making preparations. We can expect normal price increases, but we may see businesses and individuals looking to unfairly take advantage of the situation through price gouging of food, gasoline, lodging, and other commodities as defined by the statute. By our law, that's a criminal violation and an unfair trade practice, according to the Attorney General. If you feel like you are a victim of price gouging, there are certain steps that you can take to help the office investigate. If you're traveling down around South Carolina, going out to eat or buying gas and those kind of things, please do the following. This works also in North Carolina. Note the time, place, address, and the name of the gas station that you feel like you were price gouged. Note the price you paid. Note any prices nearby and get the same information on those stations. Take pictures that identify the station along with the price and provide your name and contact information and turn that over to the officials, and they will investigate that and perhaps close them down. Meanwhile, the Tryon Police Department is asking for your help after several items were stolen from the Tryon School of Arts and Crafts on Harmon Field Road. The incident happened sometime between Saturday night and Sunday morning, according to the police report. They say someone entered the school through a window and stole various items. Thousands of dollars worth of jewelry was stolen, according to the police. The exact amount and number of pieces that were stolen have not been released yet. Bottles of wine were also stolen. So if you have any information regarding this incident, you're asked to contact the Tryon Police Department at 828-859-9195 or contact any local official, and they'll help you get that information to the proper sources. Well, the North Carolina Court of Appeals has upheld the constitutionality of laws a man used to sue a Winston-Salem doctor who, according to court documents, had a sexual relationship with his wife. Mark Malachek had sued Dr. Derek Williams, a physician at Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center, over the relationship between Williams and Malachek's wife, Malachek. I'm not sure if Maleki or Malachek's wife, Amber, a nurse at the hospital, according to court records. The case centered on two common laws that can be used to sue lovers of unfaithful spouses. You may not know about this law. North Carolina is one of 7 states that allow alienation of affection lawsuits for interference with a marriage. The Malachek suit also cited criminal conversation or adultery as a basis. So that law is still in effect and has been used. Well, down in Cherokee County, Sheriff's Office is asking for your help in finding a missing man. 43-year-old John Lyons was last seen on September 3rd about 4 o'clock at the Mighty Dollar. Deputies say he left the store on foot, but his direction of travel was unknown. Lyons was last seen wearing a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey and Pittsburgh Steelers pants. He has long brown hair and brown eyes. Deputies say he usually keeps his hair in a ponytail. Lyons is about 6 feet tall and weighs about 192 pounds. If you have any information or see somebody that fits this description, please contact the Cherokee County Dispatch at 864-487-2747 or any local official, and they can help get that information. But he's a missing person. 43-year-old John Lyons. Long brown hair, brown eyes, usually worn in a ponytail, weighs about 192 pounds, stands about 6 feet tall. Well, people aren't the only ones threatened when a storm hits. We always have a flood of stories about animals being separated from their owners or left behind in hard-hit areas, but now one group is prepared to help, offering shelter ahead of Irma's arrival. For the next few days, this will be home away from home for these horses and their human companions over at the Tryon International Equestrian Center. Opened up for that. Horses are big and strong enough to handle most things, but hurricane-force winds are another story. Tryon International Equestrian Center opened their stalls to help protect horses and owners. Sharon Decker is the chief operating officer for Tryon and says they're glad to help. We're so glad that we can open up to help our colleagues from Florida and South Carolina, and we're even now beginning to get calls from eastern North Carolina. Located over there near Mill Springs, not too far from us, Tryon International is open year-round and can hold more than 1,200 horses. Sharon Decker enjoys the variety you can find. It's so interesting to see the different types of horses, and each has their own personality. So far, they've already welcomed 100 thoroughbreds and are preparing for more. Decker says they aren't the only ones working to help their neighbors. It's been a great countywide effort. There have also been a few stalls available at Fence, Harmonfield, and a lot of private farms around the area. There's a network of people ready and willing to help with horses and other livestock. A list of nearly 300 is available for the choosing. Tryon has more than 600 reservations. They're also reduced their stall and lodging rates because of the storm. It's neighbor helping neighbor, one horse at a time. Good for them. Now, some of the stories from around the neighborhood here on the morning wake-up call. The Sheriff's Report with Sheriff Chris Francis is coming up in just a moment.
For dependable and professional auto service, trust your car to Tri-City Tire Service. Brakes, tires, alignments, inspections, oil changes, and now Tri-City Tire is your complete exhaust service station. Commercial and farm tires are available at Tri-City Tire, and they are Rutherford County's #1 dealership for interstate batteries, offering 24-hour roadside service. Tri-City Tire is proud to announce they will now offer U-Haul trucks, trailers, towing equipment, support rental items, and in-store pickup for boxes. They're open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5:30, and Saturday, 7:30 to 1. Tri-City Tire on the corner of Mountain Street and Railroad Avenue in Rutherford. Their number is 287-8778. That's 287-8778.
Rutherford Orthopedics is dedicated to quality orthopedic care for the people of Rutherford and surrounding counties. Our certified orthopedic surgeons and fellowship-trained podiatric surgeon provide care for joint replacements, fractures, sports rehabilitation, surgical management of arthritis, and general orthopedic problems. For more information on Rutherford Orthopedics, call 828-287-9260 or visit www.myrutherfordregional.com/orthopedics.
Hey, this is Addie Lavender for the gift shop at Smith's Drugs of Forest City. Guess what we have? We have Forgotten Rutherford County, a book by my dad and local author Todd Lavender. It is a hardbound book with over 300 pages of stories, facts, history, pictures, and memorabilia from long ago. Come in today for your copy of Forgotten Rutherford County by Todd Lavender at the gift shop at Smith's Drugs in downtown Forest City.
Thanks, Andy, very much. It's 21 past 8 o'clock. Sheriff Chris Francis was on with us earlier this morning to give us a report from his department, and here it is again.
Jim, the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 132 calls for service. There's been 10 arrests processed at the county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 196. Among those arrests, Sean Douglas Lewis, 18-year-old white male of Hendersonville, was charged with 6 counts of breaking and entering into a motor vehicle, 2 counts of larceny in a motor vehicle, 3 counts of larceny, and 1 larceny of a firearm. He has a total bond of $90,000. We have Jonathan Aaron Byers, a 25-year-old white male of Ruston, possession of stolen property, $10,000 secure bond. Brittany Ann Twyman, a 28-year-old white female from Marion, North Carolina, was charged with failure to appear and received a $10,000 secure bond. Douglas Ryan Hipp, a 26-year-old white male of Ruston, was charged with failure to appear, received a $1,500 secure bond. Kevin Antoine Davis, a 33-year-old white male of Greensboro, was charged with possession of a controlled substance and possession of a phone by inmate. He was charged at the Spindale camp and was returned back to prison there. Kevin Wayne Rollins, a 43-year-old white male of Ruston, was charged with possession of meth and chop shop activity, received a $10,000 secure bond. Adrian Darnell Camp, a 40-year-old white male of Forest City, was charged with felony possession of Schedule 2 and reckless driving, received a $30,000 secure bond. Jessica Shea Parker, 37-year-old white female of Union Mills, was charged with failure to appear, received a $5,000 secure bond. William Kyle Bowen, 25-year-old white male of Forest City, was charged with breaking and entering and larceny, as well as Shelby Nicole Phillips, 24-year-old white female, was charged with breaking and entering and larceny and also a failure to appear. Her bond was $10,500 and his was $10,000, and they were both responsible and charged with the breaking and entering into Spake's drive-in there that we had last week. Among the incidents, we had a breaking and entering and larceny on Hardy Drive in Rutherford. A Husqvarna chainsaw valued at $600 was stolen from an outbuilding. We had a financial card fraud on Cove Road and Union Road. At Cove Road and Union Road there was a $184 looks like charge off of a debit card that was fraudulently made. We had an ID theft on Hog Pen Branch Road in Mooresboro by opening up credit cards in the victim's name without consent. And we had a larceny of a motor vehicle on Island Ford Road. It was a white 1989 Toyota pickup truck with a tag, North Carolina registration plate PEB 7580, and that was valued at $5,000. Jim, that's what we had to report today.
At Northland, we're working hard to deliver fast, dependable internet service to our communities and bringing download speeds of up to 100 megabits per second to our neighborhoods. We've invested over $27 million the last 3 years and plan to invest almost $40 million more over the next 3. This investment is backed by our dedicated local team, 24/7 support and reliability you can depend on. Experience more with Northland. Not available in all areas. Commercial services may differ. See getnorthland.com for full details.
The Bucks, that game will be played on November 19th instead of it being played at a neutral site this weekend. The game can be moved to Week 11 because both teams share the same bye week. The Panthers heading west for their opener in San Francisco. Both the Niners and Carolina boast confidence and readiness, but as far as Week 1s go, the Niners, they definitely have the edge. San Fran's won their last 6 season openers, while the Panthers have logged a 2-4 record over the same span. Week 1, though, not always a litmus test for the way that teams will finish the season, but for Luke Kuechly, it's important for so many other reasons.
It's the game that you think most about. I think it's because you have the most time to think about it, and every team's the same as us. Is you want to go out there and win that first game to put yourself on the right track.
Carolina's first-round draft pick, running back Christian McCaffrey, is ready to get his pro career underway.
And we have so many weapons on the team that can make plays, and it's our job to just go out there and execute every time, and balls in our hands, make a play.
The trip to the Bay is also a pseudo home game for McCaffrey as he played his college ball at Stanford. Boston second baseman Dustin Pedroia says he doesn't think he did anything wrong when he tried to steal signs from the New York Yankees in a series last month. The Red Sox admitted to Major League Baseball that they used an Apple Watch to relay the signals to its players. Pedroia says sign stealing is as old as baseball itself, and he doesn't think anyone should be shocked by it.
It's part of the game. It's been around a long time. We were doing that at Douglas Junior High School, where I played, so I don't think this should be news to everybody.
He added that it hardly made a difference.
But we already played them 19 times. They beat us how many, 11? I'm not going to cry to anybody about it.
MLB has no rules against stealing signs, but it does not allow the use of technology in the endeavor. Meanwhile, the Red Sox extended their lead in the AL East to 4 games over the Yankees in a 6-1 win over Toronto. New York's game at Baltimore was rained out. This is NCN Sports.
Sometimes the simplest things can make the biggest difference. An extra pair of hands, a smile, or a shoulder. At North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, we feel the same about home and auto coverage, affordable rates, trusted service, and local agents. After all, making one simple difference in your life helps you make a big difference in another's. Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
The Big Tailgate Tour, driven by Continental Tire, is on the move again.
This week, we're in Chapel Hill as the Tar Heels host Louisville. We'll be on the front lawn of University United Methodist Church, across from Sutton Drug Store on Franklin Street.
Pick up free koozies, t-shirts, and gift certificates from Continental Tire, Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue, and Sport Clips. The Continental Tire Dealer of the Week, Sturtevant's Tire Pros and Auto of Chapel Hill.
Continental Tire reminds you to drive with care when you head out this week. And remember, it's just not a tailgate without Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
Roger Federer was unable to set up his first U.S. Open match against Rafael Nadal. Federer lost in the quarterfinals to Juan Martín del Potro in 4 sets Wednesday. Madison Keys on the women's side made it an All-American Final Four at the U.S. Open. The number 15 seed beat Kaya Kanepi, and she'll face number 20 Coco Vanderway tonight in the second semifinal. That after 9-seeded Venus Williams faces unseeded Sloane Stephens.
Really amazing, not only for myself, but for American tennis, and I'm really proud of all of us for getting this far and having it USA all the way.
The Americans haven't had all 4 semifinalists qualify at the U.S. Open, on the women's side at least, since 1981. The last time 4 women occupied all 4 semifinal slots in a Grand Slam tournament was 1985 at the Wimbledon Championship. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
It's a lot to be proud of. It's so difficult to do.
Truex.
It's definitely special. It feels great.
On clinching the first ever regular season championship.
Definitely can go to Richmond without any pressure, which is awesome.
And from Hamlin.
We've been at this point before where we've had wins going into the playoffs.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass.
Home. You know the feeling. It's where it feels right. Or left. It's where the kids play. It's a backyard barbecue with just a few of your best friends. Home is where families make memories that last a lifetime. Welcome to our home. One visit and you'll see it's not all that different from yours. Home is Charlotte Motor Speedway and the Bank of America 500, part of NASCAR's playoffs. Sunday, October 8th. For tickets, visit charlottemotorspeedway.com.
There's no one in the world quite like you. That's why your search for a car is more than just, well, the search for a car. It's about finding the perfect car for you. The right car to carry you on the journey to your dreams. At Auto Trader, you can compare new and used cars cars and save your searches along the way. AutoTrader will send you cars that match what you're looking for, and they'll even let you know when the price drops on a car you've saved. AutoTrader, the only car search engine driven by you.
Martin Truex Jr. and his Furniture Row racing team, led by crew chief Cole Pern, has had such an outstanding year, they've already locked up the first ever Monster Energy Cup Series regular season championship. And with the new format, they'll collect an extra 15 playoff points.
The regular season winner is deserving of those extra points because it's so difficult to do. I think it was a good decision to make that change. It's a lot to be proud of. It's so difficult to do in this sport, in this series. It's so competitive. So I would say it's not harder to do, but there's a lot more there's a lot more benefit to doing it. I'm glad we picked the right time to do it.
Truex will have at least 52 playoff points, and he'll carry those into each of the first 3 rounds, virtually guaranteeing a spot in the Final Four at Homestead.
It would suck to win the regular season championship and just completely lose your shot at winning a title based on, some kind of racing luck. Sometimes you have a couple bad weeks, and this, rewards the guys that performed at a high level all season long that I think deserve to be around late in the playoffs.
Richard Petty Motorsports admits they're still trying to figure out their driver, sponsor, and manufacturer for 2018, but are denying rumors they're about to form an alliance with Richard Childress Racing or any other existing team. Geico Insurance has signed a multi-year contract extension with Germain Racing and driver Ty Dillon. His brother Austin, in the meantime, has already clinched a playoff spot with a victory in the Coca-Cola 600 and is coming off a strong 4th place finish at Darlington.
We've had a rough year after we've won Charlotte, but we're hitting the stride at the right time when we need to going into the playoffs.
AutoZone gets you what you need. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
AutoZone presents Peak Performance. Maximizing fuel economy, engine life, and overall performance doesn't take a lot. Thanks to fuel treatment and fluids from AutoZone. Right now, you can save $4 on 16 ounces of Seafoam motor treatment for only $7.99. So visit your local AutoZone. With over 5,000 locations, the right supplies and good advice are just around the corner. Let's get you what you need. See store for restrictions and details.
Get in the zone. AutoZone. Coming off his triumph at Darlington, Denny Hamlin now has 31 victories on the Monster Energy Cup Series, the most by any driver who has not yet captured a title.
We've been at this point before where we've had wins going into the playoffs. Luck has kept us from championships in the past, and mistakes have kept us from championships in the past. Not many times has it been performance.
Mark Garrow and PRN's Garage Pass, brought to you in part by AutoZone.
Well, this happens often around the racetrack, but we hope it never happens to you. If it does, turn your problems over to the Collision Center at McCurry Deck, the preferred repair center. The Collision Center is the only body shop with a controlled downdraft booth. It's an approved insurance repair center. They repair all makes and all models. You have the right to go to the repair shop of your choice. Make it a good one. Make it the Collision Center at McCurry Deck, located behind McCurry Deck Motors, Highway 74A, Forest City.
Beautiful weather expected for the next few days. An area of high pressure settles in behind a cold front that rolled through yesterday. We'll have mostly sunny skies today. High temperatures in the middle to upper 70s. The humidity will be very low today. Overnight tonight into Friday morning, clear skies and cooler with temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s. And then Friday's forecast, sunshine with highs in the mid to upper 70s. For the North Carolina News Network, I'm meteorologist Amy Wilmoth in the Weather Center.
Well, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood for sure on this Thursday morning. 53 right now, warming up to about 73 as far as we're going up the thermometer today, dropping back to about where we are right now for tonight, 52. Now, all the weekend long, it's going to be mostly clear, mostly sunny, highs around 75. But then at nighttime, we're going to be around 52 to 55 degrees overnight, so really nice, beautiful weekend. Friday night football is going to be perfect, mostly clear. Friday night with lows around 55 with just a slight wind, 5 miles per hour. Speaking of football, we'll have Mr. Friday night in here tomorrow morning. Jay Coombs to talk about the lineup for this Friday night. Everybody's on the road, and we'll have our game of the week also. Broadcast live, and we'll find out who that is going to be. We know we're doing the Chase game. I believe Dr. Bob is coming in right now. I failed to stop his intro before I got into that, but he's here in the studio right now, reminding you that you can make a phone call in, leave a question for Dr. Bob to answer this morning. He'll be happy to do that during this program. It goes for fast to get your questions in pretty quick. Good morning, Dr. Bob.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. It's great to be with you again in the beautiful blue room at WCAB.
It's good to have you here on this beautiful morning.
I know it. It
beautiful
is.
Day, right?
Waiting for the hurricane.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
If you're in Florida, get out.
Well, well, there may be folks listening online this morning can take that word of wisdom. You have any family or friends in Florida?
I do. I was born in Gainesville, Florida, and lived there until I was 6. My mother's people are all from Florida. They're all farmers down that way. And I've got a lot of cousins living down there. They live sort of in the middle of Florida, all the way from Jasper, Gainesville, Jacksonville, Ocala.
Well, I hope that everybody's going to be safe there. You talked with them any time about that, whether or not they're going to try to leave or stay? Or...
I was going to call, and my cell phone's going on the blink on me. I asked my son to fix it. He just looked at it real quick and said, "Dad, you need a new cell phone."
Well, if you took it to the cell phone, they'll probably tell you to save it.
Hopefully, I'll get that done today now. That's on my agenda.
The phone lines are clear for any questions you might want to call in, Dr. Bob. We've had one this morning, but Dr. Bob always comes with a lot of information worthy of our attention. And if you're ready, Dr. Bob, I'll ask you this one question as we get started.
I'm ready.
The man went for a physical, apparently. Last blood test for his physical, the man was told he was borderline diabetic. He was told to drop 10 pounds and start an exercise program. Is there also a natural supplement to bring down sugar?
Yeah, I think two things. One is cinnamon, and just get cinnamon capsules and take one twice a day. And the second is chromium. Now, some people have difficulty. You know these drinks that are popular now, these Go drinks, Red Devils, one of them. Those drinks will cause type 2 diabetes. And basically, they burn up your chromium. And you need just a little bit of chromium for insulin to work well. And so it gets low, and thus the insulin's not working well. Thus your sugar's a little high, or a little borderline, they say. But generally speaking, if you lose 10 pounds or whatever, you're not going to have any trouble. As we get older, if you have back pain or diabetes or hypertension, if you look in the mirror, you're going to be overweight. And if you lose that weight, you won't have to take a thing. But, most doctors don't even talk to people regarding that because they say, oh, we just give them something. And they'll start you on metformin or whatever a little early.
It's amazing the number of doctors that won't tell a patient that they're overweight, that need to diet.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little bit afraid to walk in that territory, I believe, aren't you? Don't you?
Well, I think so, but on the other hand, they kind of like the idea of somebody coming in monthly, getting some lab studies and a checkup, and that amounts to a good bit of money. It used to be that you didn't make that much money. I mean, you earned a good living being a physician, but now you can earn a fortune. And the way insurance covers things, like all these insurance things now, doctors are getting paid and they're getting paid more. Insurance companies don't know how much to pay you, and generally speaking, they overpay.
Well, that's the only question we've had so far this morning, but I know you always come with a lot of information. I like your book you brought in last week.
I know it. This book by Dr. Michael Murray, called The Healing Power of Herbs, is just loaded with good information. And the good information, I really like the table of contents because, number one, it gives you just a list of herbs. Now, and these are herbs that are healing herbs. And then they'll tell you what page they're on, and you can look it up, and they'll have about 4 pages on every herb. The interesting thing that I found out about the book is, I associate maybe an herb with one problem or whatever. But generally speaking, these herbs will cure not only one thing, but a dozen things. And so you get a lot of crossovers there. But it's exciting to read. And then the other thing they do, they list about, I'll read the drugs they list, unless we get some calls right. But then they also have a section, recommended herbs for some specific health conditions. And let me just read these health conditions, because the thing about that section is it will recommend 2 or 3 herbs, and the herbs are very inexpensive and they're very, very safe. The interesting thing about one herb in particular, there's one called milk thistle. And people who've had liver problems, I always recommend they take milk thistle. Well, in in doing this, I found out that most people who have hepatitis C or any type of hepatitis, if they start taking milk thistle, then their studies become normal. And you don't read about that. You don't see that. But now this particular book mentioned that. In other words, it said one of the liver problems and problems with hepatitis were handled well with milk thistle. And they compare it also with the prescription drugs. And most of the time, the herbs outperform the prescription drugs. Most men are cursed with prostatic hypertrophy as they get older. Well, the great herb for that is saw palmetto, and it works like a charm. Well, the prescription drug is something called Procar. Now, the interesting thing is the saw palmetto outperforms Procar. Now, Procar outperforms placebos, in double-blind studies. But the other thing about Procar is it has a side effect. You know what the side effect is? Cancer of the prostate. Isn't that crazy that we would treat people? Now, that doesn't mean if you take Procar you're going to get cancer of the prostate, but that just tells you that, hey, you have a significant increase in getting it if you're taking Procar.
We have a caller on the phone. Let's speak with you, Dr. Bob. Good morning. You're on the air with Dr. Bob. You have a question?
Yes.
Yeah, go
Dr.
ahead.
Bob, on these, you said these cinnamon capsules, you said they were, where do you actually get these cinnamon capsules?
You can get them basically in any health food store without any problems, but you can get them in grocery stores. The big grocery stores now all have a section where they have vitamins and minerals and things for, like aspirin and over-the-counter medications. You can find them there. They're very, very popular now, and you can also get a big, you don't have to get the capsules. You can get a big container of cinnamon and just put maybe half a teaspoon on something that you're eating, like your oatmeal or whatever, and it would do the same thing. But now the thing about it is, once you start taking this stuff, it's going to help in terms of keeping you from becoming diabetic and having to take all this medication and so forth. But you need to do other things too. If you don't have an exercise program, you need to start one, even if it's as simple as when you get up, stretch, and take 10 deep breaths and just stretch, and that can be your exercise, or walking around the block can be your exercise. It doesn't have to be that you're jogging for 30 minutes or lifting weights or anything like that. But of course, now a lot of people do that, and that pays off big time. You can't beat exercise for being a great drug. It is a great force.
Let me tell you a story about that. Last week, or week before last, I was at Lake James, and the guy told me to take 1 teaspoon a day of cinnamon, pure cinnamon. So I started that, and I thought, well, this is a crop. It ain't gonna work. Well, so I started it, and my sugar has been less than 130 every day in the last week. So it's just fantasized me that it's worked.
Well, I'm glad you shared that story with me, because it gives me even more confidence now to recommend it, because none of this stuff works 100% of the time with 100% of people, but it comes close. And cinnamon, I have had a lot of folks have good results from that. I've also had the folks have good results. Do you take these energy drinks like Go and
No.
Well, good.
None of them.
Good.
But
Well, listen, the good news about the cinnamon is you can take it every day, and you don't have to do that. Like you can have days that you don't take it or whatever, but generally speaking, it's sort of good for you. And I think any of the spices or herbs are good for you. And it's not that they help one thing, but they help a dozen things that we have in terms of making our systems work better.
Caller, let me ask you, on this cinnamon, when you took it, did you take it just by the spoonful, or did you mix it with water and drink it, or how did you take yours?
I put it on a cereal bowl, bowl of cereal, or on toast, and I was already on metformin. I've been on metformin for 12 years or something.
Well, and listen, this may surprise you, but chances are you can stop the metformin. And it's okay to stop it for 2 or 3 days and see what happens, but a good many people who've been on something for so long like that can stop it, and things will work well. But you might, along with the cinnamon, you might get the chromium now, because it's sometimes our diabetic problem, especially type 2, is just from a lack of chromium. And you can get that in any drugstore, any drugstore or any grocery store.
Chromium?
Chromium.
Is that a capsule?
Yeah. Most of these things come as a capsule, and the reason for that is you can unscrew the capsule and put it on your cereal or put it on your salad or anything like that. Most people, like I will have cinnamon 2 or 3 times a week. I don't have any trouble with my blood sugars at all, but I have mine on oatmeal. And most of my reading, and I'm kind of surprised with this, like they'll talk about what are miracle herbs, and believe it or not, one of them is oats, and they recommend oatmeal. And so many people have conditions, and they will just have a bowl of oatmeal every day. Now, the nice thing about the oatmeal is you can put a tablespoon of raw honey on it, and then you can sprinkle it real good with cinnamon, and it tastes great, improves the taste of it, and there are a lot of benefits. There are a lot of benefits that come from raw honey, for instance. A lot of benefits from the oatmeal. In fact, I've had a lot of people tell me that if they eat a bowl of oatmeal every day, that they find that they aren't as hungry, they eat less food, and they lose weight.
That probably works.
Caller, thank you so much for your call. I appreciate you calling in this morning.
If I had to eat oatmeal every day, I'd have to have something like that on it to help it out, because I don't like oatmeal.
Well, it grows on you.
I guess it will. All right.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate the information.
Well, you're welcome.
Appreciate that call in this morning. Let me ask you about that honey and tied in with the sugar thing. If somebody is diabetic and eating honey, does that elevate their sugar?
Well, there's so many other things that raise it, and I would say yes, but a little bit, not enough to bother you. So, it's kind of like, as far as I'm concerned, my experience with honey is that it's kind of a little like stevia. You can have as much stevia as you want to. I've got 3 or 4 stevia plants, and I'll just break a leaf off, chew it up a little bit, put that in my coffee, and it's a great sweetener. But if you'll use the honey in moderation, it really helps you with too many things, and it doesn't do the same thing that processed sugar does for you. It's a matter of staying away from processed sugar. The most important thing you can do is stay away from those soft drinks. They're loaded with processed sugar.
Another call came in during that conversation. They want to know what can be done for sciatica nerves or sciatica problem.
They aren't still on the line, are they?
No. He called that one in.
I'm kind of blocking out now. This is 80 years old now. What is a sciatica?
Sciatica. That's that sciatica thing runs down your back into your leg.
Oh yeah, the sciatic nerve. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I say, listen, for sciatica, you need to get in one of these little traction outfits. It will work like a charm. There's something called the gravity table or the inversion table. Now, I know they have one at Lifestyle, and you lay on this table, and your head is about 20 degrees lower than your feet. And if you'll stay like that, the weight from your head and your chest and your shoulders will separate your vertebral bodies, the vertebrae in your back. And as it does that, the sciatica will disappear, because the sciatica is caused by pressure on the sciatic nerve. And so you got to take that pressure off. Prior to the inversion table, things like that, physicians used to say to people, just lay down on the floor and stay there until the pain goes away. Now, it will go away like that, just stand on the floor, because your body will tend to pull it. It tends to correct itself. But the inversion table is great. Now, I always like to experiment a little bit with people. I have trouble with sciatica at times, the sciatic nerve. And I start off by calling it something different, a slip disc in the low back. And so after 2 or 3 years, I finally found an inversion table and bought it. And it's on my back deck. And if you'll call me, whoever called this about the sciatica, you can come over and I will demonstrate it for you. No cost to you, of course. I enjoy doing this. And I promise you, 5 or 10 minutes on the inversion table, and the sciatic pain goes away. Now, some people have slip disc in their neck, cervical area, and when they do, then you put traction on your neck, and you put that over the closet door and a little weight on it, and in 5 or 10 minutes, the neck pain has gone away.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's the last information, last call you've had. So you were giving us some things out of this amazing book that you've.
Oh yeah. Now I wanted to read some things that, and each of these things has about 5 pages of information about it. And the nice thing is practical information, and it's written in layman's terms. Physicians need to read it too, though. But now these are recommended. Health conditions that herbs really work well in: angina, anxiety, arthritis, asthma and hay fever, atherosclerosis, bladder infection, boils, canker sores, cold sores, common cold, diabetes, diarrhea, eczema, gallstones, gout, hemorrhoids, hepatitis, herpes. Now with herpes, herpes causes cold sores, but it also causes I'll think of it in a minute. Blisters on our skin. Maybe I'll get to it here. Okay, herpes, high blood pressure, impotence, insomnia, irritable bowel syndrome, kidney stones, macular degeneration, menopause, multiple sclerosis, osteoarthritis, premenstrual syndrome, prostate enlargement, prostatitis, psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis, ulcers, varicose veins. Now, the interesting thing about all of those, that's about 20 or 30 conditions that I mentioned. It doesn't list just one herb. It maybe will list 5 that helps the conditions, And then what you notice is that in some of these things, like a particular herb, will be listed for half a dozen of these. There's some wonderful, I made a list from this book, actually with the help of another book, of super herbs. Now super herbs, I'm going to read those out right now, because the super herbs, well, I'll say something about the really super ones when I get to them, help everything. The newest thing out is CBD. And CBD you can buy now at the health food store, and that's made from the hemp plant. And it is legal, and it's not that expensive, and CBD cures everything. Because of that, I'm sure they're going to legalize marijuana. You can't keep it away. The scientists that did the research on CBD all fell in love with it. And so now they're all proponents of it, rather than say anything negative about it. It's all positive stuff. Everything they compared it with, it outperformed. And it's not that expensive, primarily because you're not going to be able to get a patent on it. It's a natural substance.
It's a drop, sort of like a drop. You drop under your tongue. Is that how you take it?
Well, they have 3 ways. You can put a drop under your tongue. It also comes in a little salve form. You can rub it on your skin, and it also comes in a capsule form. So, take your choice. And it costs about $20 to $30 a month for the capsules. And here again, you don't have to take them all the time. You might take it for 2 or 3 days a week and then not take it. But you're going to see more and more of that, and you're going to see that cut into the prescription drugs a lot too. But here are some super herbs now. I'll give you something to think about. Alfalfa, American ginseng, and that's ginseng is Ginseng. Boswellia. Now another name for boswellia is frankincense. Been around 4,000 years. Curcumin. Now curcumin comes from stevia. I may be wrong on that. Cayenne pepper, echinacea, golden seal or yellow root, garlic, kudzu, oregano, ginkgo biloba, hawthorn berries, coenzyme Q10, cilantro, ginger root. Now, I added hydrogen peroxide to this list. Hemp. Now, hemp is what has the CBD plant in it, and the more THC that the hemp plant has, the less CBD. The more CBD it has, the less THC it has. Kava kava, been around for a long time. Milk thistle, I mentioned that, great for any kind of liver condition or any kind of hepatitis. Peppermint. Now, peppermint is good for so many things. I'll mention some, like irritable bowel syndrome especially, or any kind of indigestion. It's also good for musculoskeletal pain. And, we all have musculoskeletal pain as we get a little older.
It's also good for opening up your nasal passages.
That's right. Yeah, it is. St. John's wort. Oh, boy. Now, St. John's wort is used all over Europe for depression. They don't use the antidepressants there because antidepressants don't work nearly as well as St. John's wort does. Saw palmetto. Tea tree oil. Tea tree oil is a solvent, and it's great for any kind of fungal infections like athlete's foot, jockey itch, fungus of your nails, which is common, the fingernails and the toenails. It's also good for acne, and it's good for vaginal infections. With the vaginal infections, you just a quart of water and a little bit of maybe a half ounce of tea tree oil. Use it as a douche. It works super. Valerian root. Got to mention that for insomnia, stress, and anxiety. I mentioned kava kava, didn't I? Yeah.
You did. Well, we run out of time again, Dr. Bob. Interesting program again today.
I look forward to seeing you next week.
I look forward to it next week as well. And we will join North Carolina. Remember, tomorrow, my guest tomorrow morning is going to be Summer Brook. She's the voice with Mountain Faith Band, and she'll be my guest tomorrow morning at 8:35. Hope you'll tune in for that interview as well. Mr. Friday night will be on 8:05 in the morning or 8:10, somewhere along in there. Talk about Friday night football here in the foothills. Now let's join North Carolina News already in progress.
How this helps the Blue Devils be set up beyond 2018. After 16 years in Charlottesville, Virginia athletic director Craig Littlepage will retire. We take a look at 6 names that Cavalier fans should keep in mind. And over the ACC Analytics tab, we take a look behind the numbers from Georgia Tech quarterback Taquan Marshall in his record-setting performance against Tennessee. For the latest news on the Wolfpack, Tar Heels, Deacons, Blue Devils, and the rest of the ACC, make sure to check out ACCSports.com.
A deal President Trump made with Democratic congressional leaders promises to speed up passage of a $7.9 billion Hurricane Harvey relief bill. The agreement includes a short-term expansion of government funding and the debt ceiling, and that left many Republicans angry and bewildered. CBS News' Seth Lemon is in Washington with details.
Now the president says he thinks the deal will, quote, be very good. This gives Congress until December 15th to agree on a longer-term deal to keep the government funded. Yesterday, the House overwhelmingly approved an emergency relief bill for Harvey, but that was without the stopgap funding measures.
A Wake County teenager is facing charges after police say she hit another teen with her car on the way to school. It happened Wednesday in front of Wake Forest High School. Authorities say 17-year-old Georgia Prosser was walking on a crosswalk trying to get to school when 16-year-old Kendall Moore